What is the biggest I shouldn't have said that moment you've ever had right after you said it? Not me, but my boss and I were riding up the elevator. I was 6 months pregnant at the time and it was obvious second kid's shoe. There was also another pregnant lady standing right next to me, then another lady who appeared pregnant. My boss, who is a very nice lady, said, "Oh, look at you three standing there." The one on the end said, "Oh, I'm just fat." Cue exit, stage left. I was picking up my daughter from my wife, who was in a meeting for work. The meeting consisted of a bunch of the managers from the local area and the district manager was doing the meeting. We both work at the same company, so I know who he is, and he's a great guy that is pretty personable. On my way out of the meeting room he says to me, "See you later, Dad." Just out of pure instinct to say something funny, the words "that's daddy to you" slipped out. My wife and I were going somewhere. Do I look okay? She was wearing brownish capris, a light-colored camisole, and a brownish shirt over it. I tried to come up with something cute and brown. Me like a potato. It is now the basis for all clothing-related questions. 20-ish years later. Do I look like a potato in this? A number of years ago, my wife was complaining about being overweight. She wasn't overweight at all. In an attempt to comfort her, I put a hand on her shoulder and said, "You'd be perfect if I was blind." Her reaction was not what I had in mind. I'm adopted. I was in trouble and told my mom she couldn't punish me because she isn't my real mom. The look on her face made me feel worse than any punishment. Instant regret. During my wedding ceremony I said "with lusting devotion" instead of "lasting devotion." I mean, both phrases work. I don't mind having to commit to lusting devotion for the rest of my married life. I told the toddlers at my work whilst in the yard, "Fun fact, some people eat snails like that." One cue me running around stopping children under my care from eating snails. My neighbor was telling me the story about how he and his ex-wife split up. Weeks after the divorce she got married to his best friend and they moved a few states away. I said, "One man's trash is another man's treasure." He did not think it was as funny as I did. I was at a rehearsal with a blind opera singer, accompanying her as part of a string quartet. The venue was pretty cramped, and they didn't bring any stands for the music, so they set them up on chairs. I didn't bring my glasses that day, and was squinting a little bit to read the music, so the audio technician asks me if the setup is okay. To which I reply, "It's okay, I'm just blind." The worst part is, everyone gives me a weird look, but I keep on trucking cause I didn't even realize. Until 10 minutes later when I get the realization that I called myself blind in front of an actually blind person. She was very nice about it, but it was still mortifying. I saw some dumb 2007 meme that said, "Hey, man, thanks for not being a meth addict." I said it to my youth pastor cause I was a dumb teen. He replied, "It wasn't easy getting away from it, that's for sure, but I'm glad I'm here." My friend asked who directed the movie we were about to see. I replied, "Your mom." It was her first time out of the house since her mom was murdered. Business school interview over Skype. They were very interested in a global conference I was helping organize and suddenly asked, "What would you do in the event of a terrorist attack?" Blanked out. First thing out of my mouth was, "Well, the event's going to be a bomb." I didn't get in. I was doing work at the family farm when our mom's insurance rep was visiting. I overheard them explaining her benefits, that the insurance will pay out at death or age 100. "Mom, I'm pretty sure my time will come before I'm 100. Me, if not, we'll just take you out back and put you down." The insurance guy looked like a deer in headlights. My 80-year-old mom got up and chased me down laughing, to give me a fake spanking. Blind date. Your jacket looks like one of those bin liners with the yellow pull string. It really did. I didn't mean it negatively. My boss used to take the piss out of my long hair. I'm a metal bloke. So I gave that speech from Whitney Lie about hair or your aerials. They transmit information from the cosmos directly to your brain. This is the reason bald-headed men are uptight. My boss was a little uptight bald man. I swear he was almost going to spark me out. Asked one of my best friends what she was getting for her father on Father's Day. Her father, who had died of cancer 1 month ago at the most. I never heard of the rapper XXXTentacion before. When he died, a friend of mine posted on some social media RIP XXXTentacion, and I thought it was some porn site going offline, and my friend really wanted to express his love. So I replied, lol bro rip. Some other friends said, well that's harsh, why would you say that? To which I, still thinking porn, replied again, cause who cares? There are other ones out there. Turns out there was a lot of shady polemics around the rapper, and a bunch of people I know started arguing after me, some calling me sick for praising someone's death no matter who, others calling me a hero for standing up against bullshit rappers or something. It was a whole thing between a lot of them. And I was just thinking, porn, you know? I made someone cry by accident. A friend of mine told me her grandmother passed away recently, and how much she was struggling to cope with that. So, later that day we were discussing about a school-related project with some other friends. We were not going to finish our project before the deadline, so I jokingly said, well, what if we pretend someone's family member died, and that's why we couldn't focus that well? Right after saying that, I looked at my friend, who began to tear up a bit. I immediately thought, oh shit, that's right. I'm an idiot. Me and my friends were having a group photo session for prom at one of our houses. Everyone's parents were there taking photos of their daughters or sons with the dates they had. I was going alone, and one of the parents asked me who I was going with. I immediately blurted out my right hand. Dads were holding back laughter, moms were standing there shocked. Good times all round. I once accidentally referred to a friend of mine with a newly shaved head as a leukemia patient, you guessed it, in front of a leukemia patient. Sitting in the bus with my crush. Behind the window she notices billboard with some exclusive underwear ad. And I said that I cannot really imagine her in it. In my middle school music class we were studying the Underground Railroad. Our teacher asked us to name famous African Americans from the period. My hand goes up. Now, I had the image of Harriet Tubman in my mind. I still have no idea why I said what I was about to. Teacher calls on me. I answer, Martha Stewart. Class roars with laughter. My brother got a twofer when our grandmother had her leg amputated. We went to visit her the day after. During the conversation we were talking about how expensive the hospital visits can be, and without thinking he said to her, I bet this visit is going to cost you an arm and a leg. Not even 5 minutes later he asked about the recovery time, but phrased it like, how long will it take you to get back on your feet? Thankfully my family has a warped sense of humor and we just laughed at this. Congratulations on graduating. I didn't graduate. The rest of the class had graduated. She had failed a module. Oops. I was talking with one of my friends. I don't remember what he said, but I made a "your mom" comment, only to remember that his mom recently died. So I think fast and say in a joking way, no wait. That wasn't her. That was another friend's mom. My friend burst out laughing and telling me that her mom died as well. At least he was a good sport about it. Walking into a practical assessment, the lecturer tried to calm us down by saying, just pretend I'm not here. My response, geez, the lecturer is a dickhead, managed 92%. Someone was explaining to me that his brother-in-law had just passed away unexpectedly due to a heart attack. My first comment? Bless his heart. Was in high school working fast food. It was slow on the line, so me and the girl working were talking. She was complaining about her weight, so without really thinking I said, oh come on, you're not that fat. And knew how badly I had screwed up before finishing the sentence. She stormed off. In my defense, she really wasn't that fat.